Tonight, COVID cases are spiking across the country, but what about here at home? We're taking an in-depth look. Plus, a new kind of approach is being used to de-escalate people facing a crisis, and officials say it seems to be working. And later, lemonade stands are a sweet surprise to come by, but for some kids, they're actually illegal. We'll tell you all about it later in the show.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. Troubling news tonight on the COVID front. After months of decline, cases are back trending up in much of the country. In larger populated areas like Los Angeles, the indoor mask mandate has been put back into place, regardless of your vaccination status. But what are things looking like here in the Northland? CBS3's Natalie Grant joins us in studio to break down the data. Natalie.
Well, Kristen, statewide, both Minnesota and Wisconsin are seeing an uptick in new COVID-19 cases. But let's take a look at what the latest numbers are here in the Northland. Both Itasca County in Minnesota and Douglas County in Wisconsin say their COVID numbers are stable. Itasca County says they've only seen 3 new cases this week of COVID-19. Meanwhile, in Douglas County, they say there is only 1 new COVID case, with 8 total cases reported in the last month. But where there is more people, there are more problems. In St. Louis County, home to Duluth and the Iron Range, in the first 2 weeks of July, there were just 19 new cases, but now 19 cases in just the last 3 days. Today, I spoke with health leaders from all 3 counties to learn what could be contributing to this uptick and how they are still working to stop the spread. As the Delta variant spreads across the country, it's impacting different parts of the Northland differently.
Thankfully, we've seen a stabilization and definite decrease in cases in recent weeks.
We are seeing a bit of an increase.
A spike in cases is underway in St. Louis County, and health officials say variants and laxed COVID precautions are to blame.
This growth in cases and the rise in variants at a state level, at a national level, at an international level, really highlights the fact that the pandemic isn't over yet. People need to be careful, especially those who are not yet fully vaccinated.
More rural counties like Itasca and Douglas are thankful there's no surge there, but are still encouraging everyone to get a vaccine, knowing fall and back to school season is on the horizon.
At this point in time, the vaccinations are effective against the variants, and so the more folks we get vaccinated, the better we'll all be.
And while we are doing good in our county, we have a lot of people traveling into our county and out of our county. And as school starts, team sports, kids are mixing together again, and that's where the risk comes from.
No matter big population or small, all county leaders agree the pandemic is not over yet.
COVID is still in our county, it's still in our state. And in order to finally get past this, we still need to be doing some of these things until it's eliminated completely.
And when it comes to kids being back in school this fall, all 3 counties are still waiting on guidance from the Department of Health and Education about how it will look when it comes to masks and distance. And for now, Kristen, they say the earliest that students who are eligible to get the vaccine are able to get the shot, the better.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this school year goes and how we handle COVID-19 during it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Natalie. Well, for those of you still looking to get a shot, Douglas County is bringing back the vaccination site at Westman Arena in Superior. Starting next week, they will be offering Pfizer vaccines on Tuesdays and Fridays for the foreseeable future. Hours are 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. No appointment is needed. New at 10, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said today Canada could start allowing fully vaccinated Americans into Canada as of mid-August for non-essential travel, and should be in a position to welcome fully vaccinated travelers from all countries by early September. We have more information on that on our website, cbs3duluth.com. An update to a story we brought you earlier today. The fire is out at United Taconite, and we're learning more about what exactly happened. The fire started around 3 this afternoon at the Cleveland Cliffs facility near Forbes. According to the Virginia Fire Department, it was contained to a 1,000 square foot section of the rubber-lined roof on the pelletizer building. Several firefighters were treated on scene for possible smoke inhalation, and we're told one firefighter suffered an eye injury. No one was seriously hurt. According to Cleveland Cliffs, production was not impacted. The fire triggered a huge response from local departments. In total, 58 firefighters from 12 different crews helped battle the flames. The cause is under investigation. A large portion of the Boundary Waters is closing as wildfires burn out of control right on the edge of the border. Crews now say 2 of those fires could spread into Minnesota. We first reported about the 6 fires burning in the Canadian side of the Boundary Waters last night. More than 6,000 acres are on fire. And as we mentioned, 2 of those fires now have the potential of spreading across the border onto the Minnesota side of the Boundary Waters. Those red dots on your screen show just how close they are. The closures will start Saturday. They include the Tick Pristine and Sundial Pristine management areas. There's a handful of others we have listed on your screen as well as our website. No word on how long these closures will last, but the drought is making conditions downright dangerous. And that includes on the Minnesota side of the border. These are photos of crews fighting the Delta Lake fire burning about 65 acres in the BWCA right now. They say that fire has been a big challenge to control based on how remote it is. Dave joins us now for a first check of the weather. Dave, I kind of feel like a broken record, but things are sure dry out there.
And they're going to stay dry and probably get worse. Not many rain chances coming our way for the next week. One small one tomorrow for the Boundary Waters area, but that's really about it. Hopefully, though, tomorrow a wind shift is going to ease that air quality alert that many Minnesotans are being affected by here tonight and for the past couple of days as well. So through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Minnesotans have to be cautious, taking it easy outdoors thanks to that smoky air, which is really troublesome for folks with breathing problems. Well, we need rain to really solve the problem, but in second place, we'll take a wind shift, and that's what we get tomorrow. As high pressure takes over, it'll induce a southerly wind into our region, which should push the smoke back across the border. That's a big high coming our way, and it's likely going to stay dry for the next week. Thursday night, partly cloudy, lows in the mid-50s for many towns. Tomorrow, we push into the 80s with a mostly sunny sky. Still some haze through the morning in Minnesota, but should be drying up and clearing up in the afternoon. And boy, warming up as well. We could be going towards 90 by Sunday or so. Slight rain chance tomorrow, as I mentioned, near the Canadian border. We'll talk about the odds of that happening coming up in more detail in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. A new program is encouraging a person-first approach to de-escalate possible crises in the Northland's adult foster homes. And new numbers show so far it's working. CBS 3's Abigail Smith learns more about this program and why it's so significant.
Communication. That's what the Duluth Police Department and adult foster home staff, like Kyle Hayesen, are encouraging from each other to better help their residents.
People can really be in touch and talk through situations or be like, what was going on there, or they can express frustration and then have something happen or get a better, answer for why it happened or have a greater understanding. So
those groups are building that communication through the Person-Centered Incentive Matrix, or PCIM. It's a partnership between adult foster care providers and local law enforcement. It aims to teach foster home staff de-escalation techniques like effective communication skills, all to hopefully avoid a call to the police.
A frustration of some of our patrol officers based on those facts where they'd show up and are talking to these folks and it ends up being kind of a conflict between a staff member and a client where it really isn't a police matter, it's more of an organizational matter.
Both police and foster care providers like Rona Butler say these techniques can strengthen relationships and provide a sense of understanding with residents.
Biggest things, we really try to do within our agency is look at how we can provide supports for each person, not kind of a cookie cutter approach to our services, and so each person might need different supports in a different manner.
The program has decreased police response to St. Louis County adult foster care homes by 25%. That's just in the last 3 years. They only hope that number will continue to drop, benefiting residents, staff, and police.
More than 100 homes have learned about this program in southern St. Louis County alone. And while Duluth has its own ban on conversion therapy, now so does the whole state of Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz signed an executive order banning the practice today. The therapy intends to change a person's sexual orientation through conditioning and sometimes physically harmful techniques. But Governor Walz's order empowers state agencies to ensure that no Minnesotans under the age of 18 are subjected to it.
This is a day that Minnesota says, bring your authentic self. You'll be seen, heard, valued, and loved in this state, and that we want you to be whoever you are.
Minnesota is now one of 24 states that restrict this practice. Along with Duluth, 10 other Minnesota cities already have bans, including Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Rochester. The Minnesota Family Council calls the executive order overreach and an attack on patients, families, and therapists' constitutional rights. New at 10, Duluth police are investigating a shooting. The department tells us officers were called to a local emergency room around 8:30 tonight, where a 35-year-old man was being treated for a gunshot wound. No word yet on where the shooting took place or how badly the man was hurt. We'll bring you updates as they're made available. Still to come, with fires burning on our northern border, folks with respiratory issues need to be careful of that haze, why experts are recommending some to stay inside.
Today's record high is 96 from the year 2006, so 15 years ago it was pretty toasty. We could be getting back towards 90 with a warm spell this coming week. I don't know if 96 is doable, but 90 could happen for a couple of towns on a couple of days, and we'll talk about where and when coming up right after our break.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
When building, you hire a team of specialists to ensure your house turns out exactly as you imagined. Major financial transitions like retirement deserve the same level of care and craftsmanship. At MPPL Financial, we assemble a diverse team of experts to develop a plan to ensure you only have to retire once. Call today for your free second opinion consultation so your retirement turns out exactly as you imagined. MPPL Financial. Answers to the most important questions of your life.
As a Wausau family doctor, I'm not just treating patients, I'm taking care of my neighbors. So when you ask me, as a Wisconsin doctor, do I trust the COVID-19 vaccines? My answer is yes. Ask your family doctor what they think.
A lot of people are saying women are getting infertile. I would like to have kids, so I don't want to put myself at risk for getting infertile just for getting a vaccine.
Now, when you talk about stuff like infertility, that's super scary, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is there's absolutely no truth to that. All of the data so far suggests that that's not the case. I mean, nobody's become infertile from getting these vaccines. People have gone on to have babies after having them. People have gotten these vaccines while they've been pregnant and their babies have been born healthy. It hasn't been proven at all.
Okay.
It's always a good day for a car wash at Miller Mall Car Wash. But just to be safe, watch Caitlin's Car Wash Forecast weekday mornings on CBS3 This Morning with meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt. Sponsored by Miller Mall Car Wash. Only on live, local CBS3. Kristen Vaki is as local as our evening news.
I'm from here. This is my home. I learned how to do a left-handed layup right there. At that hoop, that exact hoop.
Covering the communities she calls home too.
You know, there's nothing phony about it. That's who she is. She's just a natural at it, so I enjoy watching her because she's so good at what she does.
Leaders at Hibbing Taconite are scrambling, honoring family heritage and iron mining history.
For everything local, watch Kristen Vaki on live, local, CBS3.
Sports are my passion and the love of my life. And when you watch a sportscast, the biggest compliment that I get is that you seem so excited about what you're talking about. And that's not an act for me. Who doesn't want to see someone, you know, deliver their news in a fun way? So if you love it, I love it. You're gonna see the authenticity that I think I bring.
Watch sports with Kelly Hinsett weeknights on live, local, CBS3. CBS3 weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement.
You may have noticed the poor air quality in parts of northeast Minnesota. That smoke and haze is from the fires north of the border. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency issued an air quality alert starting on Wednesday and ending tomorrow morning. Experts advise sensitive groups to limit their time outside, saying those with respiratory and pulmonary issues can have difficulty breathing. Some Duluth residents, like Jolene Eaton, who has asthma, are reluctantly following that advice.
I love to go to the beach. I love to go on walks, take my dogs on walks because they love to get outside, but I can't even walk around the block without getting super short of breath with the haze and the smoke outside.
The air quality alert is set to expire tomorrow morning, but experts say the smoke and haze could linger as long as those fires continue to burn.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Yeah, that haze is persistent, especially for Minnesota. You can see it in parts of Wisconsin and the UP as well, but at least it's well aloft and not affecting the surface conditions. But here in Minnesota, it's worked down, and we ground pounders are having a tough time breathing. So on that note, let's zoom in and take a look here at another night of northern haze going on, making the sun look almost blood red. This picture comes from Sue Harju, who's over there at Lake Vermilion State Park, and so that's the east end of Vermilion, where the smoke is among the thicker of the zones here in our area because of Canadian wildland fires and in the vicinity of our own Minnesota-born ones as well. And as I always say, the solution to the problem really is rain, but boy, there's no rain except for a dribble tomorrow in sight for the next week. We're going to have to count on a wind shift to push this window or the smoke away tomorrow. I think that will happen in the morning, but not right now because we're calm at the airport. Current temperature is 64, relative humidity is 75%, and our air pressure is at 30.01 inches of mercury, going up now as high pressure takes over for at least a week to make us high and dry. Temperature-wise, we're starting to see some 50s, of course, here in the Upper Peninsula, going 52 to 56 from Watersmeet to Ironwood. Wisconsin numbers run from 55 near LaPointe and Red Cliff, and Bayfield 2 to 60 for Hayward, and even 65 at the Bong Airport in Superior. 61 the current temp in Moose Lake, a little warmer in Cloquet, looking at some low 60s for much of the North Shore as well, and 59 to 63 or even 64 for many communities on the Mesabi and Vermilion ranges, and International Falls is at 67. I think most of us, though, will drop into the 50s tonight, and it should be pretty decent sleeping weather, but that could change once we get into the weekend and this warm spell really starts to kick in, brought in by high air pressure. Tonight, mild temperatures, partly cloudy sky, and lows running a range anywhere from roughly 50 to 58 degrees. Tomorrow, the high pressure cell starts to warm things up. Highs will run the range of 78 to 86 around most of our area, and the sky should be sunny. And it'll stay sunny and get even warmer than for the weekend. Hot, thanks to the high pressure continuing to dominate the middle part of the country. Highs near 88 in the Twin Ports mean it could go across 90 for places away from Lake Superior. And these warmer temperatures could be with us for the entire week ahead. Tonight in Minnesota, the range of low temps I'm thinking is about 52 to 58 with a partly cloudy sky. Wisconsin numbers 50 to 53 with the partly cloudy sky and calm to gentle winds for all zones overnight tonight. Tomorrow with sunshine, Wisconsin and Michigan go low to mid 80s. And for Minnesota, 78 to 80 by the lake and mid 80s possible inland. 20% chance for some borderland showers tomorrow is about all that we can talk about for rain for the week ahead because it should be mostly sunny every day with high temps roughly 85 to 90 and overnight low temps near 60. There are some hints still continuing that maybe next Saturday, after this Saturday, there's a rain chance, and we'll pin our hopes on that, Kristen.
We sure will. Thank you, Dave. The Duluth Kennel Club Dog Show is back at the deck this year after being canceled due to the pandemic. And today, dogs and owners were busy getting ready for the big competition. More than 150 breeds of dogs are competing in this weekend show. It takes place over 4 days and is a process of elimination. Dogs are judged based on breed standards like how they walk, how they stand, and their fur coats. Judges say every breed is different, so the standards can vary. Many who take part say at the end of the day, the shows are about sharing a love for dogs.
We meet so many people from all walks of life, from young to old, and they all have different backgrounds, so it's really a melting pot at the dog show world.
Several dogs competing at the Duluth Dog Show have also been to the Westminster Dog Show. Admission is free to this year's show. And staying in Duluth, hundreds came out to help animals in need tonight. Animal Allies held its annual Walk for Animals at Leif Erikson Park. There was plenty of food, music, and a 2-mile walk with a lot of pets. After last year's walk was canceled, organizers were thankful to see so much support this year.
It kind of re-energizes everybody and gets everybody really excited to keep funding our mission, keep supporting each other, and just making sure that we can continue saving pets in our community.
This is Animal Ally's biggest fundraiser of the year, and their goal was to raise $50,000 tonight. Still to come, kids all around the country tried to beat the heat and make a dime by having a lemonade stand. But in one state, lemonade stands were illegal, at least until now.
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our communities, we respond. We bring the fight to the front line. The Army National Guard stands ready because sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. We will always be there when our community needs us the most. Find out more about serving your community part-time by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Uh-oh, that food container won't contain your food, so you mess with cling wraps and foil, hoping food won't spoil. Well, not anymore. Now there's Stretch and Fresh containers, the amazing food storage containers with stretch and fit lids that let you store more. Even the odd-shaped foods you couldn't put in containers before. Just stretch over the food and snap lock the lid to keep food fresh. There's even a freshness date dial to track storage time. It comes in the sizes you need to store all the foods you want with amazing storage capacity. It's freezer and microwave safe, and the containers nest for compact, stacked, space-saving storage. And right now, the 6-piece set is yours for just $19.95, and the shipping is free. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer and send a second set. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-378-1232 or go to trystretchandfresh.com. That's 1-800-378-1232 or order online at trystretchandfresh.com.
Celebrate summer with a certified vehicle from Cary Toyota in Superior. Head for the hills in this 2017 Highlander Limited or drive away in a certified 2018 RAV4 Hybrid. Prefer a larger SUV? Check out this certified 2021 4Runner TRD Off-Road or choose a certified 2018 Tundra Limited for all your outdoor adventures. Inventory is constantly changing, so hurry in to Cary Toyota in Superior to lock in your 2021 summer driving fun while supplies last. You can also ask about our rental vehicles. Cary Toyota in Superior, voted best car dealer 22 times.
Get your news on the go. The CBS3 mobile app.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Baki, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining. A fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Baki. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS3. Brought to you by Range Regional Airport.
Get your new John Deere tractor from Duluth Lawn and Sport, the region's largest power sports dealer.
If it's important to our nation,
the country is facing yet another unprecedented crisis.
It's on Face the Nation, making politics make sense. The why behind the biggest stories. Face the Nation on CBS.
CBS3 Sports is brought to you by Northland Lawn Sport and Equipment.
Many consider a lemonade stand a rite of passage for a child, but it wasn't legal in parts of Illinois until now. Haley is all of 13 years old, and a new state law now bears her name. It's called Haley's Law. Her dream was shattered when her lemonade stand outside her home was shut down by county health officials who called it unsanitary. When people heard her story, it sparked outrage, and now it sparked change. Haley's Law allows all children under 16 in Illinois to operate a lemonade stand without a permit. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the legislation last week. With her new and improved portable lemonade stand, the young entrepreneur saving coins for a college fund is back in business. The outrage to take away a lemonade stand.
And that is the entrepreneur. I love me a lemonade stand. I had lemonade tonight, not from a local stand. Let me know who's running the stand out there.
Where are you, local lemonade stand?
There should be an app for that. Me and Kristen Baki will be...
We're trademarking
there. Let us know. Oh my gosh. I can't even remember what next in
Lemonade
sports.
would be good today. It's so hot out.
Oh my gosh, yeah, especially for racers. The sport drinks. The Park Point 5 Miler celebrated its 50th anniversary. We'll have more coming up next.
Get your news on the go. The CBS3 mobile app.
For 6 days only, Home Furniture has put everything on sale, and you can finance for 6 years with no money down and no minimum purchase. 6 days of savings, 6 years special financing. The 646 sale, only at Home Furniture.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Essentia Health surgeon Brad Kuzel discusses standard and reverse shoulder replacement.
With the standard replacement, our goal again is to resurface the joint, and if everything goes as planned, it should function like a normal shoulder. The reverse is primarily done for patients who don't have an adequate rotator cuff or have an irreparable rotator cuff. So if I have a patient whose rotator cuff muscles are significantly torn and they're irreparable and they simply can't raise their arm, and there are patients who literally can't raise their arm at all, then a reverse replacement may be a very good option for that patient, because after the surgery they should be able to raise it up to about this height.
Regardless of whether it's a standard or reverse replacement, the biggest benefit is likely to be pain relief.
My preference is to be able to perform a standard replacement. But if a patient has rotator cuff muscles that are torn and they have arthritis, then a standard replacement is not a great option. The biggest reason the patients pursue shoulder replacement is pain relief. Mobility usually improves to some degree, but not completely. Function usually improves because it hurts less. But the number one reason for shoulder replacement is pain relief. And the number one variable that drives patients to want to have their shoulder replaced is when they start losing sleep at night due to pain. The success rate with shoulder replacement is approximately 90 to 95%, so the vast majority of patients are going to see significant pain relief. Their quality of life is going to be significantly improved. Spouses sometimes even note that their mood is improved because they're sleeping at night and they're not in pain constantly, and so for me that's incredibly rewarding.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
This Medical Insight was brought to you by Essentia Health. To learn more, go to essentiahealth.org.
Test rest, then buy a famous purple mattress now at Home Sleep Express. Plus, get no money down, 6-year financing with free delivery, free setup, and a 120-day guarantee. It's so sciencey. The famous purple mattress now at Home Sleep Express.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Back celebrating year 50 tonight was the Park Point 5 Miler and 2 Mile Walk. It's now the oldest race in northern Minnesota. Runners this year got to experience the traditional start compared to last year's rolling start, which brings back that sense of normalcy. For the men's side, coming in first was none other than your very own Grandma's Marathon winner, Milton Rodich. Milton crossed the finish line with a time of 25 minutes, 20 seconds. He is now the first ever person to claim victory at both Grandma's Marathon and the Park Point 5 Miler. Milton used this race to prepare for another marathon in December.
I was told this is a 5 miler, and I said, why don't I try? Because I just started training after the marathon. I've been doing a run once in 1 week for the last 4 weeks, and then this week I was consistent. I didn't miss any training, so today it's why don't I try and feel and see how it feels.
25 minutes. The winner of the women's side was Julia Nielsen, a cross-country and track runner at UMD. She finished with a time of 31 minutes, 15 seconds and was 16 seconds ahead of defending champion Melissa Gajcek. This was Julia's first time participating in the Park Point 5 Mile.
Right before it started, I was a little worried because it was so hot, but I really like road races. They're kind of my forte, so I was really excited. I just really wanted to make sure I went out in control so that I was able to kick, and then when we got to the halfway point, I felt really good and just was able to pass people, which is really nice.
All proceeds from Thursday's event benefit the Young Athletes Foundation. The next event for that organization is the Minnesota Mile on September 10th. Grandma's Marathon will be hosting 2 other races this year. On September 10th, they'll have that 15th annual Minnesota Mile up on Skyline Parkway. And on October 30th, they have the Halloween-themed North End Nightmare 5K in Superior. With the first half of their summer season behind them, the Huskies have certainly turned things around to open the second half. They enter their game tonight in first place of the Great Plains East Division, hosting the Minnesota Mud Puppies on a beautiful night at the Wade. No score till the 4th inning. Peter Brookshaw takes one out to the deepest part of the yard. Off the wall, 2 runs come in, and the Huskies find themselves in an early hole. Next at the plate was William Sturtek. He kept the rally alive with a double down the left field line. It was 4-0 after 4 innings of play, but the Huskies never gave up. Ryan McDonald gets Duluth on the board with a sac fly in the 5th. Then they bat around in the 8th to take a 5-4 lead. Texas Longhorn Jared Southard shut the door in the 9th. The Huskies get the comeback win and hold their lead in the Great Plains East Division. UMD women's hockey made a big coaching hire today. Former Canadian Olympic head coach Laura Schuler will join the Bulldogs as an assistant alongside Maura Kroll for the 2021-2022 season. Schuler spent her last season as an advisor to the Quinnipiac University women's hockey coaching staff. The Scarborough, Ontario native brings an impressive resume of coaching and playing experience with Hockey Canada, as well as a college coaching career that has spanned over 2 decades. And that's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? Well, relax. The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call the number on your screen and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month. So call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-945-8449 to receive your free Carefree Dental Card information kit.
Prime Appliances' sizzling hot summer sale continues on all in-stock appliances through July 31st. Medea 19 cubic foot bottom mount refrigerator, just $9.49 in white and $9.99 in stainless. Or a Frigidaire top load washer and a matching electric dryer, just $13.99 for the pair. Get this Maytag front load washer, just $10.99 in white or $11.99 in titanium. Financing always available. Have our pros deliver and install or take it home today. Prime Appliance, the best place to buy your appliances.
Make the most of every property with landscaping equipment that delivers more. More productivity, more comfort, more durability, and more of what it takes to get the job done right. When your reputation is on the line, you need the Kubota landscaping lineup. Visit your local dealer today.
No one serves you better than Lulich Implement.
The Royal Enfield Bullet was designed in 1955 and not updated until 2008. It takes an experienced hand to keep one running. I've ridden in the rain and the snow, but prefer not to. That's why motorcycles and meteorology go together so well. It also takes an experienced hand to make an accurate riding forecast. As our region's longest-serving meteorologist, I think I have the touch needed to get it right.
Watch Dave Anderson weeknights at 5, 6, and 10.
Gaina Gideasin, Gajose Maznaigan, Gidanana Kidesna, Gidanan Kina, Yasion, Gajose Maznaigan, Numayana, Gidishquata, Gidishquagabeana Kina, Gidskeda Show, Minwajmuin, Giabigo Beanish, July 16, 2021, Gidabin to be Minnesota Sure. Navigators, Dawidu Kagewa, Gwene, Gija Bean to be gay and Gang Gago, Giga Ma Gasin, Minungam, Gidagan, Oabandan, www.insureduluth.org/help.
Breaking news, original reporting, and the good things in life. Join Jeff Glore, Dana Jacobson, and Michelle Miller on CBS This Morning, Saturday.
Well, Dave, I know it's been warm, but we're heading into a warm weekend as well. Friday Eve.
Yeah, it is Friday Eve, and so tomorrow, blessed relief after the workday is done from work, but not the heat. The heat will just keep dialing up here. Big ridge of high pressure will now have a hold of our region all the way through next Thursday at least. Except tomorrow near the Canadian border, the heat of the day may drive a slight rain chance for folks from International Falls, maybe to Ely, but otherwise it's high and dry for the next week with high temps 85 to 90, low temps near 60. Again, the nearest chance to rain I see on the extended charts may be not this Saturday, but the next one.
All right, we will certainly hope for that. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.